What's up, YouTube? Well, X has found a way to do a silent shadow ban. It does have a little bar that pops up at the bottom, but see, now, I didn't cuss at them. I wasn't being rough with them. I wasn't being vulgar with them, but they were with me. But this is why I was doing it, because it shows how the platform protects it. The platform allows it, but it doesn't allow truth about God. But Elon's supposed to be a First Amendment, constitutionally welcomed platform, right? Remember, that's why he took it over, right? Yeah. No, he took it over so he could play God, just like all the other ones are doing. Period. This is why I'm on there, because I want to show everybody that this is exactly what they're about. They are trying to use these platforms to make you a god of yourself. That's why they make you, it's my platform, it's my followers, it's my. Right? Because, yeah, it is. But what does that do to you? Starts to mold you into a narcissist. Everything is about you. Uh, doesn't the good book say that everybody will be perverted? Internet, lovers of themselves, ungodly, unloving, boasters, proud, blasphemers. Where does that come from? Social media. The fact that it allows you to have followers, what is that trying to mirror? Jesus and his followers. Because look, how many years ago did he pass or was crucified? And his story is still going very strong. And every time they've tried to pervert it, they couldn't. So what did they do? They tried to manipulate it and act like it was them that were the Christians. That's where you get the Vatican. That's where you get worship on Sunday. That's where you get all this delusional stuff that ended up creating government and banking. Jesus flipped the banker and money changers table. Imagine that. Government is part of the money changers. Bankers are part of the money changers. Yeah, he was telling you who the evil ones were and why. What did it say about Caesar's coin? Give back to Caesar what is Caesar's. That means give them their money back. Yeah, that means do not accept their currency. What happened to Judas when he went against God and thought he was going to get silver? What happened to that silver that they gave him? It was so plentiful that it wasn't even worth nothing. So they basically gave him shiny metal that wasn't worth anything. What are they doing to us? Giving us paper that technically isn't worth anything because it goes right back to them. Boy, does that sound like the bad Jews always trying to come up with a way to always get all their money back and rip people off? Yeah, that's exactly the same, isn't it? Boy, how come the American way is build it cheap, sell it expensive? Bad Jews, money changers, government, bankers. Pretty funny how you can easily connect all this once you break it down the basics. Even the Titanic. The reason they took out the Titanic was for a lot of reasons. One, it took out their main competitor. Yeah, he died on that. Two, it gave them access to printing press. What are they doing now? Coming up with reasons to print money, right? And what happens? Comes to us in a stimulus check. We go out there, we buy what we need. Where does it end up? Elites. Do you see the circle? Because I see two circles. I see our taxes being taken to fund their security system and end up going back to the elites. Then I also see them putting us in slavery to run their businesses and then putting other businesses out here so they can take all your paycheck back. It's a circle. That's why you never get out of it. It's like a hamster wheel. And somebody come up and put a piece of plexiglass on it while you're running so you can never get out. And then what does that make you think? Well, if I run fast enough, maybe this piece of glass will fly off and I can come out. That never happens. Right. Now, when you have a gatekeeper that actually moves and lets you up to a different level, that's like somebody finally saying, all right, we like him. He did good. Pull that plexi off and let him at least in the cage. So then he's out of the wheel, but he's still in the cage. Which means, yeah, we let you enjoy this much, but that's it. You got to prove yourself even more, as in follow directions like these elites are telling these kids to do, right? Except for the directions they have them following is way worse. I can't believe we know this and we're just sitting here trying to use the internet to magically make it disappear or better. Do you ever think that that's exactly what they wanted it for? And so you tell them what you want done so they can make sure they get rid of it. And if you get too rowdy and want to go after them, that's what they got the military and all the good weapons for, right? To scare you. Even though most of their big weapons at close range don't work. Yeah, you're going to get you too. As in them, the one that fired it at you. Right. Because once it hits you at close range, it's going to get them too. Yeah, firearms are a lot different. You better be very good. Not only that, you don't think they have snipers, are going to have snipers set up where you can't see them and it can hit you from miles away? Oh, yeah. You're probably going to use the drones to do it now. Yeah, that's what they'll be doing. Hiding under the ground, operating all this robotic stuff. Maybe that's why they're coming up with the robots. Maybe they want them to clear the top level instead of nuking it and waiting underground until it becomes better. Well, their first thing, their agenda was to do all this to where they got some people manipulated to the bad, some people staying on the good. What does that do? That shows you who's bad and who's on your side. Now, let's get them to fight because we don't care about either side. But what we do care about is depopulation because we don't want none of them here. Right. Once they get done, we'll say how great they did, and then we'll decide when we take the other ones out because we don't want them here either. And that's exactly what they're thinking. Russia is behind this. Yeah, the Russian bridge player, and they're all behind it. Yep, and guess what? It's all the arms dealers, all the bad criminals, cartels, etc. It's all of them. All of them are together. Yep. Wow. I think this is why they say that the Christians, you know, are going to end up getting slaughtered because they're going to try and use talking and empathy and understanding and logic to try and get these people to stop, kind of like Charlie. Even though we could take them out, this is what they're going to do to manipulate us into a conversation when they have no means of completing that conversation correctly. None at all. No means at all. So, yeah. You might as well take the plot of the Hunger Games, all the hunting humans and poor people. Notice how it's always the poor people that they're hunting. Well, those movies also show minorities being hunted. My gosh, of course they're gonna put that little tick in there. They already got you. They're hunting people. Wait a minute. They're also right. They don't. You don't think that they know that you're gonna do that? Yeah. What does that do? Piss you off at every other person that doesn't have your color. Yep. Even though we didn't do it, these people made this video. Yeah. This is gonna make everybody nervous to stand next to each other and fight because you never know which one is gonna flip or win. Even the military goes through this. Yes, they do. Don't let them think that they're a perfect elite team. No, they're not. They just have good weapons that we paid for. Yeah, we paid for it. The elites didn't pay for that. We did. They kept their money and made more money. Come on now. That's exactly how bad Jews and elites work. They want they're only spending their money if they can double it. Right. Which means only if they can get it back plus what they spent. And their real goal is to get 10 times or better back. That way they get their money back that they spent and 9 times what they put out. Right. Well, that's how business works. No, that's greed. That's not how business works. That is greed. There is no sense in having this much money, and this is why. You can already buy everything, so you start getting bored, which is considered idle mind, idle hand, because now you're free. You don't really have to work. You don't really have to do anything. You can just pay people to do it for you. So now you think that you're God. That empowerment, you're God. Yeah, you got all this money. Yeah. No, you're not. You can go around and do whatever you want, and nobody's going to make you answer for it. Sounds like a trap. I mean, shoot, even dogs know when you're trying to get them in the car to take them to a vet. They might not know the first time, but as soon as you do it, that next time's going to be trouble. Not with us. They just keep changing the scenery, changing little details about how they present it to us, and we're like, oh, wait a minute. I was young and dumb. How do you think I know it? I lived it. Well, that means you're stupid too. Well, yeah, we all are. I just stated that. Some of us learn, some of us get manipulated later. Y'all act like it's so easy. It's not that easy. It gets easier once you see it done and you know it's manipulation. Then you know. Why do you think they always try to hit you with a blind side or try and cover up what they're doing or try and do it with a smile? Right. Because most people will still accept it even though they're like, what? This doesn't feel right. Hmm. Wonder if that's that angel of light. Sounds like it. But you know, well, yeah, we can fight back, but what's it going to do, really? Give them more bodies on either side? They don't care who drops. They're still going to use the body. That's what they're waiting for. Well, think about it. Well, you can't blame it on us. They did it. Right. They're basically turning other people into lackeys to give them basically a boost over the line. So they can still be a cannibal, but you're going to get in trouble for taking the life. Or We're going to put a badge and a gun on your hip and then give you a judge. That way, when you take a life, we can just cover it up. That way, you can keep doing it. But these other ones, now we're going to throw them in jail, make money off of them. And you know that's how it works. This is the grand deception. This is the beast with the two horns, standing on the sea and the land. That is the United States government. It has to be. Democrat, Republican Party, and they have control over land, sea, and air. Who's riding the back? The whore of Babylon. Who is the whore of Babylon? She's in New York. Yeah, setting fire to the heavens, liberating us from God and his laws. Right? What does it say on money? In God we trust. Yeah, not that God. Not the one of the heavens. No, it's not. Look at that. Mirroring, wordage, and actions of Christians to manipulate. You realize that's what the obelisk is in Baltimore or in Washington? You realize that's what the Capitol building is? Dome of Isis? Yeah. You realize DC is laid out to witchcraft symbols with the Pentagon, war, right in the middle of their supposed safety and protection. Yeah, they're using witchcraft as protection. Who does that? Satanists. Christians don't use witchcraft as protection, not knowingly. Well, I'm pretty sure I've used these videos to point out the pretty much outline. That's a very good place to start if people haven't started putting it together yet. Of course, there's other details that go along with it too, but that's pretty much the basics of it. Yeah, people should be able to be looking at situations and be like, is this manipulation? Is this this? Is this that? You all should be able to do that, and you're not. You're able to call it out when you want to use the Uno reverse card, but when it comes to like two females manipulating each other to ruin relationships and men's lives, that's cool. That's fair game, right? Yeah, because you share a common interest. You both are mad at men. What's the common interest that Devil shares? He wants you dead. What does the government want? You dead. What's the elites want? You dead. Boy, looks like common denominators. Well, yeah, but there's a lot. Yeah, but they all do basically the same damn thing: manipulate, lie, trick. Like I said, bring it back to basics. Stop getting wrapped up in the tangle. Back up and look at the tangle. See how you got to pull it out. Yes. Sometimes you're just too in depth and you got to take a outside look. What's going on here? Right. Wow. Wow, 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 wow.